So, hello and welcome everyone, I'm Madals and this is game 1 of a best of 1. It was submitted to me by one of these two players who is absolutely awesome, sending me the replay. Great quality of play going to be coming up here. I believe they are both GM on the Korean ladder. But anyway, let me introduce him. Down in the bottom left position, spawning as the red Zerg player. It is none other than FXOLegend, who of course, keyboard started doing it again. Oh my goodness, this is gonna be the bane of my life. Anyway, so yeah, FXOLegend down in the bottom right. His opponent up in the top right, the Barcode player, is a Protoss, and I can assure you that it's HelloKitty. HelloKitty is cool for sending these replays in, as I've already established. So, Derelict Watcher is gonna be the map. It's quite a nice map. Slightly Zerg favored, because this base here, the third base coming down for Protoss, this base is nasty. It is scary. It is terrifying. And yeah, that isn't too great. The one cool thing that you can do with this base, though, is for a Zerg player, if Protoss come in, kill the hatchery, they can then mass recall out really quite nicely. You can get a nice little push there. You don't have to worry about trying to retreat anywhere. So, good option to try and get that going in. And if you can do it, yeah, more for you. It was a good little push. So, anyway, what can we be expecting? HelloKitty going for the Gateway Expand. It's all looking pretty swish, pretty cool. Nice times there. Nothing too scary. Gateway Expands. Lots of Zerg players, including myself. Just because of how many players go Gateway Expand, especially on maps like Derelict. You know it's going to be a Gateway Expand on Derelict because this is quite a wide area. It's difficult getting. You can afford to fast expand, but most players tend to Gateway Expand on this. But yeah, since lots of Protoss players are going Gateway Expand, hatch, pool. It sounds crazy, right? It sounds like, oh my god, you're going to die. They've got more units out. They've got Gateway sooner. You're fine, because anything they can throw at you before that, really, you've got Zergings adding at speed and time, and you're happy, your economy's great, you've got a good income advantage, you're just like, huffy-duffy-duff, win. But yeah, HelloKitty, straight up to 2 gas, 4 probes in each. This is quite an early gas timing, I'm going to be honest with you, getting all those gas down. We'll start the Cybernetics core, and it's all looking fairly sweet right now. It actually wasn't that early to be thinking about it. It just seemed it because I'm really hyperactive, so it seems like time is traveling really slowly, or maybe time is traveling slowly and some noob is casting a replay of my life right now and accidentally slowed it down to normal speed rather than faster. That would be good. So yeah, currently at the moment we do just have everything going down fairly normal. And yeah, Overlord's just going to get some information. There's the hatchery. It wasn't a hatchery first. It was pool into hatch. Pretty much safe. Pretty much going good. Of course, the Zergling's coming through. Just going to take a little bit of a look around. Make sure no pylons in case there's any cannons. Because, of course, this Overlord hadn't seen yet that there was the Nexus coming down. So, it's just a bit of extra scouting information. A little bit of a precautionary measure, just to make there's no like proxy 2 gates or something like that coming out. So that'd be really annoying. So yeah, pylon coming down, Nexus is there, 1 gate, sentry out first. So the sentry out first is actually a really important thing. If it was, for example, a Stalker or a Zealot, then a Stalker, or 2 Zealots, it was pressure. It would definitely be pressure coming down, Mothership Core would come with it, damage would be done. And yeah, that meant simply that, well, since it's a sentry, there isn't going to be pressure. The Mothership Core is going to sit back really carefully and just be defensive. The sentry as well, the force field's available. Additional gateway coming down. Now this is where options are presented to HelloKitty. Why a lot of Protoss players go for this gate expand. You can get 2 more gates plus tech, or you can get 3 more gates and put on pressure. Both are viable options. Just because it's a sentry, I'm inspecting that 4th gate. And there we sorry, the 2 gates because the Stargate came down second. So yeah, this is all cool. Essentially just allows you to be more defensive. But the Stargate part of the wall-off is quite cool. It hasn't been scouted yet, so isn't known. The 3rd hatchery is coming down though. Very normal times of all of this. Everything looking good. Gas getting mined. Legend has actually banked up quite a bit of gas. 150 there. Not spent any of it for the moment. Zerging speed is now going to begin. Still, the gas mining isn't optimal if you're ending up getting 100 gas and you don't immediately start Zerging speed, because obviously something went a bit bumpy there, be it how you spend your minerals or something like that. But yeah, this is pretty much a standard game now in terms of opening. What comes out of this? It's going to be a single Phoenix. Now, the reason I reckon it'll be a single Phoenix, not more, is because that's what a lot of the Korean and high-level pro players are doing at the moment. 1 Phoenix, harass Overlords, push them back. Immediately, like, if we look here, there's 2 Overlords that can just happily be picked off with 1 Phoenix. You can get more out. It's still viable to get more, and HelloKitty is going to be going for more. Really, you'll see 1 or 2, or 4 or 5. 3 you don't ever really get. And as I've said that, of course, I've insta-cast cursed it myself, and there's going to be 3 Phoenix. Now, the reason 4 is good is you can pick up a Queen and kill it with 1 lift, as opposed to needing more. Not being revealed yet either, these Phoenix, not being shown to the Overlord, and scanning information, as far as I'm aware, doesn't actually know the Stargate's there, so there's not going to be a reaction really in terms of Spore Crawlers or anything like that, additional Queens. It's all pretty much just Lings for the time being. The Lings can be a little bit awkward, but remember there are sentries down. 4th Phoenix is now on its way. Going to start moving out with the 3 of them, just moving straight forward. The Zergling's probably going to get the Scout down, actually. Will get the Scout down as the Phoenix flies straight over them, but will there be a response viable from this? Well, Zerglings can try and push in. The 4th Phoenix has now just popped. 3 going to start going to harass. Already we see the Spore Crawlers have got started. Unfortunately, this is a misjudgment by Legend. His Queen is the other side, away from the Spore. That means the lift can go down, and it can still get killed. The scanning information will occur, and Legend realizes, but the lift has already occurred, and this now means that the lifting Phoenix is probably right on the edge of range of that Spore Crawler. Will be able to take out the Queen now, pulls it back, gets another Phoenix targeted, all goes down. No health damage taken, only shield, so they'll regenerate nice and quickly. Back at home, everything was safe because there was a force field, so yeah, that's good. A 5th Phoenix is coming down. Sorry, a 6th Phoenix is coming down. Okay, so this could be a very Phoenix heavy composition now. Not something that I've frequently seen, but my goodness, when it's played well, it is amazing. Because Overlords are just like, Spore Crawlers, I don't care, I'm little Overlords, and yeah, it's all good. And that's why you see additional Spores now coming down. This is going to be like the Overlord guarding squad. Basically, at the moment, they're all just going to sit here and be like, gotta be careful, gotta look out, and make sure that we're hugging Spores just so the Phoenix can't kill all of us. But drones and stuff, they can get just taken down before the Spores are able to do too much damage. Another Overlord, just straying a little too far forward as it pops out, instantly taken down. HelloKitty was momentarily supply block there. More Overlords still coming out. As they're spawning, they're getting taken down, so that Spore Crawler's had to move forward, potentially leaving things vulnerable. The Zerglings not able to push through. +1 is coming down. Note HelloKitty hasn't taken a 3rd base, so these additional gateways, 1 additional gate, is just going to be some pressure, but it's only going up to 4 gates. The Robotics Bay means a quick Colossus, so I'm expecting to see this 3rd get taken, and there we go. There is the pylon coming out. If we take a look at the vision at the moment of Legend, he can't really see too much, actually. All in all, he just knows that, well, he's about to get that Overlord taken down, was gooping some creep, but since the Overlord got killed and there's a probe there, almost certain to be an expansion, so this is alright for the time being. A couple of Lings can try and run past the Zeta, won't work. +1, still not done, it's on its way. Roach speed and Hydra speed, though, are coming down. This could be a big Roach Hydra shove coming from Legend in order to deal with this potential 3rd. The Hydra's also going to do a nice job against Left Phoenix, because the Phoenix, of course, can't effectively deal with Hydras once there are more than about 5 of them. Before that point, you can just lift them and basically kill them ultra fast, but after that point, it gets a bit annoying. Another Overseer gets taken down. Of course, the supply still very comfortable, 80 to 116. Work account Legend up at 68 to 59, so he should be fully saturated now. And he's also getting up his 4th, plus the Infestation Pit. That's pretty cool. This could be for a really early Hive in order to go for super fast Vipers. Probably the most likely thing for when the Colossus do start hitting. Of course, the first one on its way out now. It could also be for Pathogen Glands and Infestors. Generally, usually when you see this quickly, it's to go up into a Hive just to get Vipers out. Probably will see that fairly soon. There's also a very Hydralisk heavy composition coming down at the moment. Pretty much only Hydras. The Roach Warren is made, and of course our Reconstitution is done, so Roach Speed is finished, but there aren't any Roaches on the field for the moment. There's the Hive coming down, so that Infestation Pit being used as expected. The 4th, about 2/3, 3/4 done. 3rd base for HelloKitty is now going to be the target ready of Legend. Losing a couple of Phoenix, that can't really be avoided, unfortunately. Oh, but these ones could be if they just kept going. So HelloKitty does ideally need to see that they're there and run them back to safety. Could also go in and just try and counterattack a little bit. He does have an Observer in a good position where he can see some stuff going down. 2nd Evo is on its way, so only +1 missile attack for the moment, and +1 ground attack is already done for HelloKitty, if you recall your memory, and +1 armor is about 3/4 done, so that'll be finished soon too. Voidway countersign get higher, and of course, we all know Colossus Voidway is a absolutely devastatingly effective composition. It's scary to be up against because the Colossi can take down the Hydras and the Voidways can really take down anything else, so you don't really want to be dealing with that. A relatively good way of trying to stop that if you do get a big Voidway Colossus army, believe it or not, is actually Ultra Queen. It works really nicely because the Ultras can tank up a lot of the damage. The Queens don't take additional damage from Void Rays, but can still do it nicely. Got the transfuses there. You can add a few Hydralisks into the mix as well, just for a little bit more DPS to the ground, but generally that works quite nicely, especially if you're adding Vipers to the composition. If you get some Ultras out, it works nice, because Queen Ultra plus Vipers just mean you can abduct the Colossi, and then once they're out of the picture, you're fine. Vipers anyway, though, are generally good, even with Hydralisks up against the Void Rays, because the Vipers can obviously abduct the Void Rays into range of the Hydras and pick them off in bite-sized chunks. That just means that you're a little bit more safe. But Phoenix were able to rack up a couple of kills there. Both workers' counts are sitting at 70. So very equal income. That will favour, though, clearly HelloKitty. Just because he's sitting there and it's like, well, equal workers, or was equal workers, plus my units are better, they're more cost effective. Good times. As though players' units are actually slightly less powerful, but that's why they generally rely on a slightly better economy. So, Vipers, just consuming this hatchery, just to get a bit more energy up. Consuming a hatchery is actually, if I recall correctly, the most cost-effective way of, basically, the quickest way to get energy on Vipers. The downside to it, though, is of course your hatchery loses quite a chunk of health, and that means that a Zeta warping could potentially be devastating, or something along those lines. A DT warping could take it down a little bit quicker. Spore Crawlers are moving forward. I like this from Legend. It's going to be quite interesting. Unfortunately, he doesn't have creep spread too far. That's why he's bringing an Overlord for that creep spread. Going to try and position up them as quickly as he can, just to get some creep generation going so he can burrow those spores. But unfortunately, the Overlord didn't get the memo that the attack is not going ahead. Nearly flies into a whole bunch of Stalkers, but gets away safely. HelloKitty moving forward now. The Ultra's Cavern on its way down, because of course that's a cool thing to do. And yeah, he's going pretty nice at the moment. HelloKitty, good army, maxed out up against the maxed out Zerg army, and here we go. The engagement is going to be coming down. The abduct, grabbing those Colossi. 2, 3, 4, all abducted. They're going to try and get focused out pretty quickly, but the Void Rays, they're doing some nice damage. One gets abducted down. The Hydra count is not that high anymore. 10 on the field in total. But that's after some reinforcements, adding as well that another Colossus is coming down. Good force fields from HelloKitty at the moment, segregating off quite a lot of that army. Yeah, things are looking nice. Things are looking swish. I like this for HelloKitty. The Mothership Core is also with the army. No, it's only got 70 energy though, so we'll be able to cast on a Time Warp soon. If it doesn't die to that Spore Crawler, which unfortunately it does. But yeah, HelloKitty lost quite a lot of the air army there, just by those spores. But remember, Ultra's Cavern is finished, but Ultra's taken an eternity to get out on the field. A lot of these Overlords are going to go down. Legend getting very close to being supply blocked. That's going to be frustrating. Good force fields from HelloKitty as well. Zone out a chunk of this army, reduce the amount of units attacking. The Stalkers sitting there with the nice upgrades of 1-1, up against 1-1, are trading okay. But HelloKitty taking quite a bit of damage. He needs these reinforcing Stalkers to come through. They are into the battle now. The Immortal racking up 16 kills on its own. Some definitely a little pro-immortal there. Viper's trying to abduct a little bit more energy. I heard somewhere there is only the single Viper, but there aren't any Colossus with this force. The Warp Prism, though, will allow some quick reinforcements. One Colossus is there now. I do correct myself, but yeah, the Warp Prism. Oh, the Warp Prism going very far forward. You do not want to be losing that. And abduct goes down on a Stalker. Not the best use of an abduct. Not enough energy for another one either. Wanted to try and get that Colossus, but yeah, Warpit's coming down. Legend's economy is still okay, 74 to 71 drones. He's only lost 11, so he's still mining quite nicely. He's got a good number of static defense at his 4th. But HelloKitty plowing forward. HelloKitty going really to try and put on some more pain. Plus 2 missile attacks about to kick in for Legend though. And that's when he'll take the upgrade leader. It'll be quite annoying. Only the single Colossus still though. So not able to do that much damage with just a single Colossus. But the Blink Stalkers, they're really starting to hit home quite nicely. A big another warp in of these Stalkers. I take back, actually Blink is not done yet. Wow, these aren't even Blink Stalkers and they're doing that much damage. That's pretty awesome going here for HelloKitty. He moves forward once again. Gonna take a quick little peek up here and go, okay, what's going on? Everything's good. Can I deal some more damage? Needs to start looking at killing a hatchery ideally though, because Legend can trade like this pretty much all day. But the second Colossus is now joining the force, and HelloKitty's army supply is slightly higher. Oh, just dropping slightly low now after the next wave of reinforcements on their way through. But of course the Vipers are out of energy, so the abducts cannot and will not go down on these Colossi until the Vipers do have their energy up. One Viper gets sniped off, that's a big gas loss. Trying to push up the ramp. The Colossus is doing some damage from the back. The second Colossus not focusing on the main army though, but now of course it is, and this is where the damage is being done. The Hydras cannot tank well up against those Colossi, and Legend is losing a lot. Well played comes down, and HelloKitty. Oh yeah, HelloKitty, like a bit of a boss there. wins that game just with solid pressure. Was taking a fourth behind it as well, so did have a plan to get out of that play style. So very nice game. Of course, if you enjoyed and you're watching on my YouTube channel, like the video, leave a comment, and of course subscribe. If you are, however, on my Twitch channel, stay tuned, make sure you follow this channel, and I'll be back on camera in just a sec.